Okay, now last segment, we talked about the sweet spot theory, which really, in my mind, is the essence to shooting fast and accurately. How do you get to that point? Well, you've got to practice. And the only way really to practice, in my mind, to get yourself up to that level, up to that speed, is to dry fire at home. It is really, dry firing is truly the master skill for success. So to dry fire, of course, we always want to make sure we have an unloaded gun. Make sure the magazines are unloaded. Make sure there are no magazines in the room, no ammunition in the room that are loaded whatsoever. We want to make sure that we have a truly dry weapon. Okay, more accidents happen when people are going to clean their gun or are dry firing than at any other time. So be very cognizant of the fact that you are in a dry fire mode, and remove the ammunition totally from your surroundings so that you have no way to inadvertently load the gun while you're in a dry fire mode. That being said, this gun is empty and I can start. Now, here's a story for you. Years ago, we used to videotape the USPSA Nationals, the Bianchi Cup, the Steel Challenge, all speed shooting events in one way or another, and accuracy, and they are pistol shooting events. And we'd go to the hotel. And we'd stay at the hotel with all the shooters. In the daytime, we'd go out and we'd videotape all the shooters, and all the shooters would compete. And then at nighttime, we'd have dinner, and everybody would be going to bed. And as you'd walk from from the hotel lobby to your room, you'd be passing by the hotel rooms and where all the competitors were staying, and you inadvertently heard beep, click, beep. All the competitors were dry firing that night, because that's what highly skilled competitors do. They handle the firearm on a regular basis, and they practice the draw, the presentation, the trigger pull. Makes a lot of sense, right? Now, you can actually get, I believe in my mind, you can get more out of dry fire practice than you can out of shooting live fire. I know you may think that's kind of crazy, but in reality, live fire costs money, so a lot of people shy away from that because it costs so much money to shoot nowadays with the cost of ammo, and that's why a lot of us reload. A lot of people do reload. But with dry fire, you're practicing all the same skills, and these skills translate themselves out to the range. So all we're really doing, again, is practicing the motion. Again, we're looking at the target. We're focusing on the target. And now what we want to do is we want to bring the gun up into our line of sight. We don't want to look for the gun. We want the gun to come to us. And then we want to execute the trigger pull, and we want to verify the sight picture all at one time. All right? So and you can use it with a timer or without. So if you had a beep, you'd come up, and you want to verify the sights. There they are. Everything's good. Feels good. Grip is good. Okay, I've got a nice strong grip, and it's all accurate. And repeat. And beep. There's the sight, right on the target I'm looking to hit. And grip is good. Trigger pull felt good. Finger was in the right spot on the trigger. It's very, very important that you are consistent there. A lot of mistakes happen when you short stroke the trigger, but typically more people make a mistake when they overstroke the trigger. They're too far buried and they push the gun over that way. So if you see yourself shooting to the left and low, that's because you're too far down on the trigger. You want to make sure you use that little pad and you pull straight back. And again, we'll do it again. And beep. Okay, there it was. So now I've done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And the reality of it is that, after a while, I always say to myself, gee, it's kind of, a shame that I have to rack the slide every time on my Glock. Okay? And secondarily, you know what? Even though I am verifying that trigger, and that sight, should I say, and the sight picture and the fact that it is on top of the target I want to hit, I always wonder to myself, did I execute the trigger pull right at the right time? Was I too early? Did I miss? Did I pull off a line and come back on so fast that I didn't really see it? There's always a question in my mind. So what I did is I took the Glock, this is about years ago, and I developed the reset trigger for a Glock. So here's on my 19. Now, the reset trigger, basically, is a trigger that allows me to squeeze the trigger, and it resets itself automatically. So I do not have to rack the slide. Very, very important. So now, at least I had something that I could come out, shoot 2 versus 1, all right? Now, that was cool for a little while, but then I thought, you know what? I'd love to be able to see what I'm hitting. So then I tied it together with a laser. So check this out. Now, every time I pull the trigger, a laser beam pulses, just like that. So now we have something. So now I can go ahead and say, well, let me pick a spot across the room. I see it, there it is. And I know if I hit it or not, right? Then I think to myself, well, gee, that's kind of fun, because it's a lot better than just guessing, but it'd be more fun if I had a reactive target. So hence the little 5-inch square reactive target with a 3-inch circle. All right, so I'm gonna just place them right here. And what's really neat about these are battery operated. Every time you hit it, it beeps. How much fun is that? Now your practice gets to be a lot more fun, because now you're not only practicing all the skills, the physical skills, but you're also verifying that you're actually hitting the target. So you come up and now, what's really cool about this, a couple things. One, there's a target, right? But I'm aiming for that little red dot. That's really important. Remember we said the smaller your target, the better. Now, we're here at pretty close distances. But that's okay, because it's all about speed right now. So to practice, all we're really doing is practicing some of the motions to see how fast we can go from target to target. Make sure I turn this one on. Okay. And of course, what's really cool is you can set up multiple targets. So I've got 2 set up here. So when you come out, what you'll see is the ability to go from target to target is a different animal than just one target at a time. Here we go. But the skills you learn here, like I say, will translate themselves directly to the range. So now we want to practice all the things that could come into play when you're at a match. Hands up, hands down, or if it's self-defense, move out of the way, draw. Or shoot around cover. Or turn. Or just go back and forth and just have some fun. All kinds of fun. So the key here is that you can practice indoors and ramp yourself up to shoot fast and accurately. And that's really key, is it's about the manipulation of the firearm. The more you handle it, the more you actually get on it, present it, the better you'll be. And like I said, all the skills that you practice here will enable you to shoot faster and more accurately with live fire. Let's move on.